It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, Showtime. What's happening, everybody? Geno Jones, Showtime. Bam! I know you can see that big old sign behind me. So I come to you live. Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. There was no live show yesterday. There was some, it was a maintenance day, equipment maintenance day. So we got, now everything is working the way it should be. So, and I'm here live for you, like I am Monday through Friday, normally 5 days a week. So shout out 6:30, shout out New York City, shout out to Philly, Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Everybody partying up in Philly. It's 6:30, 6:31 now. New York City, Charlotte, North Carolina. Shout out to Miami. Shout out to the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia. Up in Columbia, South Carolina. Detroit City. They're on Eastern Time, 6:30. Chi-Town, Chicago. I see you, Chicago, Milwaukee, Memphis, Minneapolis, Houston, Dallas, New Orleans, 5:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles, and everybody out on the West Coast, 3:30 p.m. Tell everybody tell everybody to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Subscribe and share, screen grab, rip some of the video, like, binge watch all my back episodes, and please leave your comments in my comment section. If you're watching me live tonight, if you got a question, please, as a matter of fact, let me just do that real quick. There we go. Because folks are already, you guys are waiting for me. I am here. So please, my chat room is open, so jump in the chat room, say hi. The show is interactive when I'm live on camera, so if you want to talk to me, we can have a conversation. Just jump in the chat room and type in whatever you want to say. Don't get crazy with it, because if you get crazy, basically, you'll be banned. I'll block you and we'll kick you out of the chat room, and you'll be banned from having any comments on the show. So, but say what you got to say. I can say hi. Say hi. Let me know who's watching and where you're watching. And if you want me to shout somebody out, birthday, could be anniversary, whatever it is, whatever you're celebrating. Maybe you just got a promotion, you got a question, you got a comment, you want to, hey, Barbara Gathers, hey, Barbara, how are you? Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Everybody else, don't forget to jump in that chat room and say hi. Who else is watching me? Hey, Monique, how are you? Thank you. I appreciate you watching there. I know you ladies are spreading the word. Get your girlfriends, your sorority sisters, your soros to be sure to watch the show. As a matter of fact, I should do like a Black Greek episode. Like have a bunch of sororities on and then some fraternities. That's a great idea. I don't know if you ladies are in a sorority or not, but this idea just came to me. Shout out to everybody. All the Mason brothers, my Eastern Stars. My mom is the Eastern Star. All right. Shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you. So I'm going to start off the show with some good news. If you are a fan, a rap fan, if you are a fan of A$AP Rocky, now you say, who's A$AP Rocky? Well, actually, he's probably more well known, depending on who you are, for who he's married to. His wife is Rihana, who's like a billionaire now. She didn't get a billionaire from being a singer. No shade. She's a very talented performer, but she went into business and she came out like with a makeup line, a clothing line, Fenty, which is actually Rihanna Fenty. That's her surname. That's her real name, last name. So her man, A$AP Rocky, was facing some felony charges. He would have been going to jail for a while. He was facing a felony assault charge with a semi-automatic handgun. He was found not guilty. So A$AP Rocky fans are happy. He was real happy. He hugged his lawyer, and he leaped across the desk to hug Rihanna, and she was happy. And I can understand because they have two children, two small children together. So I'm not going to go into the backstory about what happened. You can Google it. Somebody that I think Rihanna and A$AP Rocky knew died, and from what I heard, So ASAP Rocky didn't shoot the dude, but supposedly the gun that killed whoever this person was, the gun supposedly belonged to ASAP Rocky. Just Google it, guys. Okay. Uh, this is not hip hop hooray here. I mean, I love hip hop, but no, this is not. This is not. That's what they got the shade room for. Just go there. Just Google it yourself. You don't even have to bother with it. But just some good news. So I'm happy for that family. That his children, he and Rihanna's children, will have their dad around. And our prayers go out to the family because somebody was killed, a life was lost, and no matter what, that family's not happy. Even if ASAP Rocky was not the person that pulled the trigger, whatever alleged involvement, he was found not guilty of what he was charged with, assault with this semi-automatic handgun. But we got to remember, somebody lost their life, and that family, that young man, that family will not see that person anymore. So they're probably not that happy about the verdict, and I can respect that because I wouldn't be either. So we want to lift him up in prayer also. Hey, Antamia, hello. Thank you for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Everybody else who's watching, shout out to you. All right, so this is important. I want to remind everybody, because I've been saying for a while that it's pretty clear now, after November 5th, it's pretty clear that in general, that America's basically given its ass to kiss. Has attempted to give and just kind of stuck out and poked out their ass to African Americans, to Black Americans. Like, you know what? Look, y'all can kiss our ass. We don't really give a damn about you all. So many of us knew that we were really all we got. Now that's not indicting. You know, look, there are some white brothers and sisters that are true, not just allies, but that hate this whole hatred and bigotry and MAGA cult. I mean, really, really. But the truth is, the majority of white people that voted in this country voted 8 out of 10. Those who identify as Republican voted for the cult. Over 60% of white men, 53% of white women voted against their own reproductive freedom, which really doesn't make sense. And I wasn't tricked, but I thought that when people are telling you that that the government is going to control your womb and your ovary and tell you when you can have a child and force you, even if you don't want to, even if you are a victim of rape or incest, force you to tell you what to do with your body and to control your body. And I was like, the majority of white women, they are really, really, really? Because since the Roe versus Wade decision, where the Supreme Court made the ruling that abortions were legal and everything, that was 50 years ago. 50, think about it, 50, that's what, I think a generation is 15 years? That's over 3 generations. 3 generations of women that didn't know anything but reproductive freedom, that understood it for whatever reason, if they didn't want to go through with the pregnancy, that they could terminate the pregnancy. But no, they were like, y'all just take my ovaries, take my womb, and take my uterus and tell me what to do, we control it. Wow. So the bottom line is, we have known for a while, as Black Americans, African Americans, we're really all we got collectively. But the truth is, we are all we need. Because if we think about like our ancestors, our great-great-grandparents, we think about cities like Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Rosewood, and Wilmington, North Carolina, and other cities. I think is the town, is it Elaine, Arkansas? You had race riots in Chicago, like a little over 100 years ago. It was the Red Summer of 1919 and 1920. All these race massacres were basically those who identified themselves as white, which is ironic because a lot of these people were Irish Americans and Italian Americans that engaged in this domestic terrorism. They just got into the whiteness club. Because when the Irish immigrants came from Ireland to America, when the Italian immigrants came from Italy to America, when the German immigrants came from Germany to America, when the Eastern European immigrants from Poland, Lithuania, Russia, any of those Eastern European countries, Austria, they were not considered white. They were looked down upon. They were looked at like they were the N-words. They had anti-immigration laws against Jews, against the Irish, against the Italians, against the Chinese. So let's fast forward. Let me bring up, this is not a history class, so let me bring it to 2025. So we realize that we're really all we got, and we're all we need. Now, you know, so I got to say this, so I had an interesting conversation with Allie, with my youngest daughter. And she was there. We got to stop dividing ourselves. And I said, yes, but what most cultures and communities do, they build wealth. You can go, listen, any big city. I lived in Los Angeles. So you had a distinct area of Los Angeles. We had wealthy Jews who supported each other financially. They had businesses and banks, Jewish-owned, Jewish-run banks. Koreatown, Korean-owned banks, businesses where the community supported the Korean community supported that community, supported those businesses. Most big cities have what they call a Chinatown. Yeah, a lot of tourists come in, but you still have Chinese that support that community, Chinese-owned businesses and banks. But somehow, it's a problem when black people do it. Black Americans, our spending power, we control and spend about $2 trillion with a T, $2 trillion a year spending power. So we spend a lot of money. We make a lot of people rich, but we don't have wealth collectively in our community. And this is not CNBC. I'm not a financial expert, but what I do know, I do know is that when we have built communities from scratch, our ancestors in the teeth, in the heart of Jim Crow laws and lynching and rape, legalized lynching, rape, murder, you name it. Communities, Rosewood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma, cities, towns like Rosewood, Florida, Wilmington, North Carolina, in the early 20s, thriving black communities, black banks, movie theaters, hotels, hospitals, doctor's offices, lawyers, you name grocery stores, furniture stores, anything that you could want was in those communities. And envious, jealous, hatred, racist ass, white nationalists, domestic terrorists, they burned them down. With the assistance of local and state, probably federal government. In the case of Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Greenwood District. And then guess what? Our ancestors, we built Greenwood, the Greenwood District, even bigger and better than it was before. Then the federal government decided we don't like that. And they built an interstate highway through thriving black neighborhood. And they didn't only do it in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I can take you to any city. Here in Charleston, South Carolina, interstate, built right through historically black neighborhood. A thriving black neighborhood that had been around for a long time. Chicago. Dan Ryan, I-94 in the Eisenhower, I-90. Dan Ryan, I-94, right through the south side, literally right through the heart of the south side of Chicago. And then they got I-290, literally right through the heart of the west side of Chicago, where the majority of black people, as a matter of fact, when our ancestors, like my grandparents and my mother came to Chicago in the early 40s, all the blacks settled on the south or west side of Chicago. In Philly, in Philadelphia, North Philly, South Central LA, North, like, in Atlanta, I think for the most part, kind of like, I want to say, like, was it the north side? Anyway, most cities, traditionally, Milwaukee, blacks, for the most part, the blacks settled up on the north side of town. And Chicago was different. Back in the day, all the white people were on the north side of town, and the blacks were on the south and west side of Chicago. And the white folks were on the north and northwest side of Chicago. So, I mentioned all that. I bring all of that up to say this. The way to get people's attention, and I've said it so many times, the way to get people's attention with money and power is to dig in their pockets. When you start digging in their pockets, when you affect their bottom line, you get their attention. And you can get things done. You can create change. The Montgomery bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama went on for a year. Literally, that bus company went bankrupt. Black folks is like, no, we're not sitting on the back of the bus. Hell, we won't ride the damn bus. We'll figure out a way to get to work. I've told the story before in this show. My grandmother taught, well, so the way the story really goes, to set it up properly, is that my grandfather took me downtown. He taught me how to save money. Every year I would have like this, they call it a Christmas club savings account. Every month we'd go downtown. He would give me $10. I would go to the bank. I'd fill out the deposit slip. I had my little passbook. And I would give them the deposit slip, show me how to fill it out, sign my name, write $10 on the slip, write my address on there, hand the deposit slip to the teller with my $10. They would deposit the money. They would take a stamp, boom, $10 deposited on February 1st. By December, I'd have $120. I could buy Christmas gifts, whatever. And I went downtown. I think it was a department store that no longer exists called Carson, Perry, Scott and Company. Back in the day, Chicago, Marshall Fields, Marshall Field and Company, the Marshall Field family, Robert Barron, rich family from back in the day, Google Marshall Field, now sold it to the store to Macy. They were the big department store with Sears. Back in the day, Sears, Roebuck and Company. And Carson, Perry, Scott was like probably number 3, the third biggest. Then they had Weeboats and other ones back in the day. But Carson, Perry, Scott, now there's a big Target in where Carson, Perry, Scott was, right in the heart of downtown Chicago, State Madison. So I went in there and bought a sweater. I'll never forget, it was like a cream color sweater, but it had like a yellow, like a gold stripe. And I went to purchase the sweater, and the teller, I don't want to say the teller, but the employee at the cashier, the register, basically looked at me and my grandfather like I was invisible. They didn't want to allow me to pay for it. It was like I wasn't there. And so somehow, I don't know if I brought it up, my grandfather, but that incident got back to my grandmother. My grandmother was furious. My grandmother didn't cuss. Like, if she said hell or damn, or she called you a heifer, nasty, trifling heifer, you had just got cut. You had got dog cussed out. That was the equivalent of MF and B and ho and all of it. And she was furious. I could still see her face today. She said, Jeannie, don't you ever beg nobody to take your money. That was an important lesson, and I never forgot that. And I've taught my daughters that don't ever beg nobody to take your money. If people don't respect you, if they don't see you as a person, if they don't see you as human, if they don't see you and they don't value you and your money, man, you tell them to kiss your ass. Don't you? As a matter of fact, you don't even tell them nothing. You walk up out of there. I'm not going to beg you to take my money. So why do we continue to do business with companies that have shown us, because now all of a sudden they've cut back or ended their DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And just from a business standpoint, that don't make sense. In business, the more diverse your customer base is, the more diverse your client base is, the more diverse your dollars are going to be, the more money you can get. But it goes to show you how insidious and ignorant, all in one, insidious, ignorant, stupid, fearful, this ideology of whiteness and white nationalism and I'm superior because I'm white, which is made up. It's nothing genetic. There's nothing in the human genetics, human genome about whiteness. No, you'll never get a result of a DNA test that says that you are 85%, 90% white, 60% white, 70% black. She was made up in the 16th century, 1580s, over in Europe. I've talked about that so many times on this show. So, February 28th. I don't know, that might have been a long way, a long roundabout, long-winded way to get to the National Economic Blackout. The first one, February 28th, a week from Friday. If you're watching me live, a week from tomorrow. The ask is for Black America for damn sure. That's why it's called a blackout. And those people of color, those who are anti-racist, those who are against bigotry, hatred, fear in all of its forms, but especially for the culture and our community here is Black Americans. The ask is not to buy anything, either online or in person in what they call a brick and mortar, like a physical store. The ask is not to buy anything, especially from Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart, and I'm throwing Target in there. These are some of the main companies that said that they were getting rid of their DEI programs. John Deere is one of them too, and Lowe's and Home Depot. But Amazon, notorious Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart, Target. Don't buy anything. And also the ask is also not to buy any fast food or gas for 24 hours. February 28th, starting at midnight, February 28th, going all the way to 11:59, Friday night going into Saturday morning. Now, everybody's not going to do this. Every Black person is not going to do this, and I get that. And we're going to have that debate later. As a matter, I got a comment. Let me see. Thank you. Well said. Thank you, Antamia. We need to stay encouraged to support all of our Black-owned businesses. Yes, because if we don't support, listen, the rest of America has told you, as I said, I've heard my mother say this, don't give me your ass to kiss. America is giving Black America its ass to kiss. Like we don't give a shit about you all. So we're going to kick your ass financially. That's what we're going to do. Because we know what you worship. You worship money more so than you worship God. Money is your God. So we got you. Especially the billionaire class that uses racism and fear and hatred and bigotry and misogyny and sexism to keep poor and working class black people, brown people, Latino, Hispanic, Native American, poor and working class white people. Because see, the fear is if poor and working class white people ever see through this whole construct, race is a construct, something that was constructed. It's really a con. It is a con game that has been played on people, but specifically white people, to make them think that because they don't have melanin like this, that they are somehow superior, which is laughable. Because the truth is, humankind, as we know, originated from an area in the world on the continent of Africa. Humankind, the first humans, originated on the continent of Africa. So in theory, every human has African roots and origins. That's way back then it wasn't called Africa, but that region of the world that is now referred to as Africa is where humankind, was first found and discovered. So that's a whole different conversation, history class, Kemet, Mali, the great civilizations on the African continent. That's a whole different history class. We'll talk about that, which is now Egypt. Egypt is not Egypt's original name. That's not the Middle East. Look at a map. Egypt is on the continent of Africa. Egyptians are Africans. Cleopatra wasn't white. Cleopatra was darker than me. Jesus was darker than me. Feet of bronze, hair like wool. Stop playing. Once again, value people that value you, your family, your community, your culture, and your money. And don't value people that don't value you. My grandfather said valuation. Put valuation on people that value you. When people show you they don't value you, when people show you, when businesses, companies, or individuals show you that they don't value you, they don't see you for all you have to offer, when they don't see you as human, when they don't value you or your family or your community or your culture, or they don't value your money, then you don't value them by spending your money with people who don't value you and don't give a shit about you. And that's how you get people's attention. Because with all the circus, all the circus in Washington, D.C., all the confusion, listen, the confusion, the chaos is created to do just that, to confuse you, to have you racked with anxiety, fear, despair, depression, disillusionment, to get you to give up, to tap out, to give in and give up and tap out. We're going to do the exact opposite. We tapping in. Tag me in, coach. Tag me in. I got you. Tag me in, Barbara. Tag me in, Monique. Tag me in, Antamia. I'm not doubling down. I'm decaing down. Decaing. Like doubling, quadrupling. Deca, the root word of deca, Latin. The word deca, the Latin origin, the definition of deca in Latin is 10, like a decade. A decade is 10 years. So I'm times 10. Deca is times 10. Octa will be 8. Doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down. I'm decaing down. We're deca down. times 10. Supporting. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't do business with, a white-owned business or a Hispanic-owned business. If they see you, if they value you and your family and your community and your culture, and they value your money, you can do business with them. It's your money. If you choose to do business and spend money with people that don't give a shit about you, that's your call and that's your money. But why? I ask you, why would you spend your money? Why would you give your hard-earned money to people who despise you, who see you less than human, that see you as inferior and see you in all kind of racial stereotypes and think that they are superior to you just because of their skin pigmentation, when their resume and qualification and educational level and resume probably couldn't even sit in the same room with you and have a conversation with you. And they got the nerve to try to look down on you, can barely speak English. Dumb, ignorant, illiterate ass, racist ass. Please. Can barely read, barely talk, don't even know their own damn history. And they think they're better than you because they don't have melanin or very little melanin. Miss me with that. But I'm going to close where I began. Other cultures make it a point to support and do business. They prioritize doing business and building up their communities and cultures. You don't have to take my word for it. Like I said, cities in Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, LA is a great example. From Koreatown to Chinatown, they have thriving communities, Jewish communities, Jewish banks, Jewish businesses, Korean businesses, Chinese businesses, other cities. You have thriving communities, Irish Americans, businesses, Italian Americans. Chicago is like that. So why can't we can do it? And collectively, when we build wealth, we'll be able to employ each other more. We'll be able to invest into each other. We can deposit more money in black-owned banks, and we can buy more land and support more black farmers, open black grocery stores, transportation companies, manufacture companies where we make things, build hospitals, health clinics, investment companies, real estate companies, mortgage companies, finance companies to finance homes. Black-owned companies finance and capital, capital. We can support, start, and invest more into black-owned businesses. Close to $3 trillion spending power, but not enough black wealth. All right. Hey, Monique, what you got to say? Hey, that's a good question. And Monique, where's my mother? I don't know. Hey, baby girl. As a matter of fact, Monique and all the ladies, Antamia and Monique, Angela Jones, that's my baby sister. I call her the baby girl. She calls me big brother. She may know where my mom is. I guess my mother may be having some issues. I'll find out because I'm going to talk to her shortly. Listen, thank you for watching, everybody. I love each and every one of you. Hey, don't forget to spread the word. Tell everybody to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. It's free. It's not behind a paywall. It means you don't have to pay to subscribe and to see my content. My show, my live show is free. All of my back episodes you can binge watch on my YouTube channel. They are free with all my great guests, all my fire monologues, Monday through Friday, live, 6:30 p.m. Tell everybody to subscribe. Record a little video for me. Do a little 30-second video, 60-second video telling everybody about the show and to watch it live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, or to just go to binge watch all my back episodes. And please to subscribe to the channel, support Black-owned media, my media company, Geno Media. As a matter of fact, we're very close to getting checks from YouTube. I need about 270 some odd new subscribers. Then I'll pass up over 1,000 new subscribers, and then you'll start seeing ads from YouTube, and those ads I'll get paid from YouTube for them running the ads on my channel and on my show. So thank you for supporting Black-owned businesses. Thank you for supporting Black media, because we need more Black-owned media, especially now. We need platforms, we need shows, we need talent that's going to speak truth to power. As my grandmother said, Jeannie, tell the truth and shame the devil. And that's what we do here. So I thank each and every one of you, Barbara and Monique and Antamia, my baby girl. I appreciate you. Oh, she is watching. Okay, Antamia, my sister said, as a matter of fact, my baby sister might be at my mother's house, but she probably talked to her. She said she's watching. She just didn't get in. She probably couldn't type anything in the chat room, Monique. That's why you didn't see anything from Mama today. But thank you for asking about her, Monique. That's going to make her day. There she is. See? There you go, Monique. Where's Mama today, Geno? There she is. Yeah. So, all right, Monique, question answered. Mother, there you go. There you go. One of my viewers, Mother, Monique, there she said, hi, Mama. She wanted to know where you were. And I told her I knew you were watching, no doubt. So don't forget, National Economic Blackout next Friday, February 28th. Spread the word. Next Friday, the ask is not to buy anything online or in person at a store. Or a brick and mortar store. Specifically from Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart, Target. You could throw in there John Deere. You could throw in there Lowe's and Home Depot. And I think we could probably throw forward into some other ones. But those are the main ones: Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart, Target. And no fast food. Don't buy any fast food or gas for 24 hours next Friday, beginning at midnight, February 28th. That is next Friday, for 24 hours straight. Economic blackout. Dr. King called it, he said we need to have an economic withdrawal. Pull the money out. Put it in Black-owned banks. You know, make these big banks, Wells Fargo, because they were scandalous. They even had to pay out money because they were like the ringleaders with these predatory home loans. Put our money in some Black-owned banks. Even if you don't put all of it, but it's enough Black-owned banks to where you don't have to put all. The white-owned banks, you don't put all in a lot of cases. You don't put all your money in one bank. Some people do. The way to get people's attention with money and power is to start digging in them pockets, as my grandfather said. When you start digging in people's pockets, you get their attention. Hey, oh, whoa, what you doing? Your hand in my pocket. Because I'm taking my money back. Nope, that's it. We're not doing that. You'll be surprised, a lot of change, quick. Because see, those same people support this chaos and confusion and madness. You know, they've gone to Mar-a-Lago and they've given millions of dollars for the inauguration and his campaign. But when they start, trust me, when those quarterly reports, every 3 months, they have a quarterly report. They have like the quarterly sales reports. Even if it's down 10%, 10% is a lot. 10%, we talking about hundreds of millions of dollars in 3 months. I think I don't have my notes in front of me. I did the research. I think Black Americans spend like $30 million a day in Target stores across America. Think about that, $30 million a day? Woo, look, man, if we put $30 million a day, that's 270. That's 210. 30 million times 7, that's 21. That's $210 million a week in one store. And they pulled back all their diversity, equity. Why should we spend? And not just Target, Walmart, but just think about it. When I saw that number, I'm like, wow. But it was accurate. Walmart's is pretty similar. $30 million a day Black Americans spend in Target stores across America. Come on. Man, we need to put that money in our own. $210, $210 million, $210 million a week. That's almost $1 billion a month. Doing the math in my head in real time, standing here. That's why I see, when you just put that down on paper. When you look at that and say, wow, we have that kind of economic power collectively as Black Americans. And every Black person don't even go to Target, but the ones that do spend $30 million a day. Come on, man. Come on. All right, I'm out of here. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check him out on Instagram, KLB Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the show. Check out Allie and her Lexi Jones collection out, LX.NCL_. LX.NCL_. And shout out to Bruce Gage, also wardrobe consultant to the show. Check him out, the Mario Uomo collection on Instagram as I slide over here. Because, sometimes, Satan, the devil get busy because, he comes, as my mother say, to steal, kill, and destroy, and then he don't like the truth, but we say, tell the truth, shame the devil. So Bruce Gage and the Mario Uomo collection, go on Instagram, IG, Mario, Mario, Mario Uomo is spelled with a U, Uomo, Uomo. Geno Jones Show brought to you by City Vibes Bar and Lounge, 9730 Dorchester Road, the ultimate adult night spot. Men 35 and up, ladies 30 and up. DJs, live DJs, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and an all-day Sunday brunch. Great food, great fun, great drink. You name it, they got it. Shout out to Kenya and Corey Williams, the owners of City Vibes Bar and Lounge. You can follow City Vibes on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and the Crate Group nonprofit, one of the top nonprofit organizations in America. If you're looking for an incredible nonprofit to support, the Crate Group and their CEO, Kendrick Bannister, check them out on Facebook, CRATE, the Crate Group. Also, the Crate Group, do a search. You can go to their website, just search thecrategroup.org or .com, I can't remember exactly, but if you just do a search for the Crate Group nonprofit based here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro, but they serve the entire state. They serve just really like the East Coast. They've been doing this work for 35 years. Brother Kendrick Bannister. All right, thank you, Barbara and Monique and Antamia and the baby girl, Angela Jones, and my mother who jumped in here and checked in. And thank you, Monique, for asking about her and everybody else. Yep. Thanks for watching. We'll see you live. Spread the word. Don't forget, copy and paste the link. Tell everybody when you finish watching the show, call and text, do your own live on Instagram, do your own live on Facebook, do your own little YouTube short, do your own live on TikTok, and remind everybody to subscribe to the channel so we can start getting them YouTube checks coming into my media company. We support you live, and I'll thank you for supporting me. I will continue to support you and support Black-owned businesses. We are all we got, but we are all we need. for us, by us. And we're not excluding anybody else. Charity begins at home. I can't help my neighbor until I can help myself. I can't think about cleaning up my neighbor's house. I got to get my house in order. So we're going to get our financial house in order. And be strategic with how we spend our money. See you live Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.